then this other one too, come here. Okay, so let me know if you guys can hear me. Actually moderate everyone. This other one here, properties. Yeah, that's okay. Everything looks okay, so I believe you are able to hear me, but I don't know, don't just know why. Properties, okay, headphone, and then okay, that's fine then. Hello, please let me know if you can hear me on the comment section. I want to know if you can hear me. I don't know, can you guys hear me, or the voice is low? Okay, yeah, correct. So right now I think everything is working perfectly now. I know that. So welcome to Ekidel again once more. Welcome to Ekidel live stream, and today we will be performing the final design for the superstructure of this structure. Okay, I know that, for this building here. So we will then begin with the interactive design. As you can see that we have already designed for this structure, and everything is actually looking green, but in even at that, we still have most of the members are still failing. As you can see, some beams are failing, and then most of the columns too, this other one too, most of the columns too are also failing here, as you can see that right now. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let me know if most of the columns too are also failing, as you can see that. Okay, so right now we are going to begin with the interactive design of this building. Okay, so I'll then move to the what, to the plan view of story so I believe one. You are able to hear me. Now on story one, now you can see that we have few columns that are failing, and you can see that all our walls, which is the basement wall, and that we have basement walls and all that, and all our walls are okay and all that. Although I will still show you of these walls. Please let me know if you can hear me on the comment section. So let's now go back to the plan view. Okay, so basically when your column, can you guys hear me? I know that when your column is failing, as you can see, your column now. Okay, yeah, correct. So right now, I think everything is one. So when your column is failing, the first thing we do right now is to begin to look out for the columns that are failing. Live stream. So this column 8 now is actually the final. Okay. So what I'll do now for the superstructure, now do what? Okay, right for this video here. So and we will then say what properties, okay, for this column. So I see that we have already designed say properties, or sorry, come here and say everything session design here is actually looking this green. Now we will then have to do what, look out for, even at that we still have most of the members, the column why it is failing. Okay, as you can see, I can see that why it is failing right now is that you can see the U ratio is already what, 12.05. Okay, so it's very very high, and knowing that most of your U ratio are also is not meant to be more than what, not meant to be more than 1. Okay, so let me know if most of the already what 12. Okay, so which is very very high. You can see that. So we will have to do what. So right now we are going to begin size interactive design of this. So this column size are then not sufficient to carry the load. Okay, of story. Sorry, I am hearing myself. Now on story 1 now, you can see that we have few columns that are failing, and you can see that all our walls, which is the basement wall, and all we have basement walls and all that, and all our walls are okay and all that. Although I will still show you of this walls. Let me know if you can hear me on the comment for that. So let's now go back to the mode this. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. So with this now, we would now have to do what, change the size of our column section. Okay, so knowing that if we with this, I can see that the design here is failing. As you can see, it is failing. So we will then go right now, then to what, say okay, and then come back here. Let's try 300 size, and then come here and see if it is going to pass. Now you can see that basically here is showing okay, but here we are having what, 4 T25, and yes, it is okay actually, but here you can see what's happening here, that here the value of the slenderness is what, more than 1. And when this happens, actually it will cause what, cracking to the column. Even if the column will not collapse, but you will see that it will cause what, sparring on the column. That means that the part of the concrete part of the column will be what, peeling off. Okay, that's what it will cause. Not that it will collapse, but it will cause sparring and some kind of hairy cracks. Try what for design again. Let's see, it is not okay. So with this now, I'll have to change what, change the column what, orientation. So I'll do back to what, increase my size here. Let's try here now to be what, 300, and do this and then update and see it is still showing here. Can you see that? So with this now, let me now try what 350 and see again, update and design, and then let's see, it is still showing, but right now it is what 1.03 and all that. So let's just go back now and then do what, try to increase to what 375. Can still go. Let me try that and see. Okay, so as here is also showing here, then you are what, okay, good to go. Okay, and now come and do what now, say what okay here, and we can choose to use this value 375 is also okay for a good column sizing and all that. Then we can now come now and then do what, and then say okay. Okay, that's fine. So let me actually know if someone is hearing me. Let me just go back to my live chat and see if anyone is hearing me. Actually, I do not know if someone is hearing me and all that, but let me just see that first, if someone is able to hear me. Let me see. Okay, so with this now, let's now move on to the other things that we'll have for today. So we have actually checked for that column here. We have checked for this column here. The next thing now is to check for the other columns here too. So I'll come again, right click here, and then do what here, click on this right now and say what session design here. Okay, and then when that opens up right now, I also change for the side of that. So with this now, I can try here also 350 update, and then come here and do this here. Let's see that it is still failing here. As you can see that it is failing here. So I'll then come now and then say okay, and come here and try 375 and update, and then come here again and check out for that. Okay, so with this now, let me try what 450. Okay, and update, and then look out for this. Okay, that's fine. So you can see that it is now okay here. This is what 0 point something 8 against 1. Okay, that's fine. So with this now, since here is okay and all the values here is less than 1, and this is also okay, then and we are seeing now about here T16, can I go and do what, say okay here, and then come here and do what, say okay here. That's fine, that's okay. So we can see that the column now is now what okay. Okay, we then move on to this other one too right now. So we have to check for all our columns. We will check for all our columns and see if they are all what okay. Okay, that's fine. So we'll check for all the columns now and see if they are okay. That'll be fine. And then say what column section design here, and then we'll then move on towards changing our size to, let us try this other direction by using what 350 and update and design. Let's see, it is not okay because you can see that here is 1.68 against more than what 1, which is not okay. So with this now, I will then come back here and change it to what, change it to 450 and then updates and okay, and then say what design, and then it is still not okay, as you can see that right now. So with this, I'll have to change the column what orientation by what 225, and then come back here and put what 375. Let me see that, and update and click on design here. Let's see, you can see that basically we're having what 0.99 against what 1, which is very close. Okay, now and then click on what okay. Since it is far away from 1, then it is what okay, and then come now and do what, click on here and then do what, say okay here. That is fine. Okay, so with this again now, then come now and do what, click on what okay here. So with this now and all that, you don't have any much issue to check for all the columns. Just check for the ones that are failing. Okay, and then move on. Okay, so then move on to story 2. Let's just check for all the columns first and try to make sure that all the columns are what okay. Okay, that's fine. So this other column now is failing, so we'll now come here, click on this right now, right click here, and then do what now, and then click on what design here. Okay, so with that now, we then come here and try to increase the column size. First, let's see why it is failing. It is failing based on what? I believe based on size. I can see that they say what section size is what insufficient. So come now and increase our size to what? Let's try 300 first and update and design and see. Yeah, so you can see that right now that here is okay. Here is also showing what our bar for 4016, but here is not okay, because if you look at this place now, you can see that this place here is what the value here is what 1.78 against what 1, which is not okay. If you allow this to happen, yes, the the column will not collapse, but what is happening is that this column will be having what? Sparring. Okay, sparring simply means where you be seeing your concrete peeling. Okay, you'll be seeing the face of the concrete peeling, like trying to cause cracks. Even if the column does not fail based on buckling, but it will gonna cause what? Cracks. Okay, so just to see, we're having what you can see, we're having here 1 point something, so this is not really okay. So with this now, I'll have to do what? Change the column orientation 225 and do what? Try 375 here and update, and then do it here and see. Let's see, we are having to be 1.17 against what? Against 1. So this is still failing because it will cause what? Cracking on the column. Yes, it will not collapse, but it will cause what? Cracking on the column. So I'll come back here now and then come here and type what? 450, try 450 and then update and design. Okay, let's see. Now you can see that, you know, we now have what? 0.9 column what? Column ratio based on either short or tall column must also be what? Less than 1. Okay, else it will gonna cause helical cracks on the column, and it won't be nice people seeing cracks on your columns. Okay, that's fine. So with this again now, let's now go and check out for the next column that is filling here. Is called column 6. Okay, column 26. Okay, which is here. Okay, that's fine. So column here is also failing here. So with this now, I will then come now and click on this column, right click here and do what? Section design here, and know why it is failing. Okay, so with this now, I will then try to do what? Increase the size here. Let's try 300 first. Okay, let's know why it is failing first. 225 back and try why it is failing. Because it's saying that the size of the what column is what? Insufficient. So I'll come now and do what? Click on what? Okay here, and then come back here and try what? 300 first, and then do what? Update and with LED bars and then design. Let's see that. Yeah, I can see that now that this is okay. You can see that this is what here is okay, and the value for, if I want to use Y16, I can now go and increase the size. Let's try 350 and not that. Okay, but basically that was okay, but let me try to use T16 and see. Yeah, I can see that this is now okay. You can see that. So we with this it is okay. You can see that we're having what? T16 here is also okay, and here is also okay. Okay, that's fine. So always look out for this, that this is what? Less than what? 1. Okay, must not be more than 1. And also try to use smaller size of bars for your column, because most clients get afraid to buy bigger size of diameter of bar, like 25 or 20. At least T16 for your column, except it is not let me say T16 is failing, then you can now go and do what? Increase to T20. Okay, that's fine then. So with this now, then come back and do what? Say okay here, and then say okay here on this column. Okay, the issue on the column. Okay, so let's now go to story 3. Let's just check out for the table of story 3 here and see. Okay, you can see that all our columns on story 3, they are all okay. No one is failing, and all the walls, even the lift wall is okay, and all that, they are all okay. For the columns are all okay. Okay, that's fine. So whenever your columns are showing green, no much checkings on the columns, although later when you have to check the column table on the state table, if you see now, let's see story 5. I believe story 5 also is also okay. Let me just see that. Yeah, all the columns, let me just towards story 6. Okay, so on story 6 now you can see that all the columns are okay. So right now that we have checked all our columns, let's now go back to story 1 to now begin our checking their beams. Once they see that all their beams are green or their beams is green, they'll just move ahead. But that's about us. So I will not go to what? Check our beams now. So for this beam now, I'll then click on the beam, right click and do what? Section design here to see the kind of reinforcement the software gave me. So in this case now, this is perfectly okay. I know that. But if I try to reduce it to 2Y16, let me see. It is still okay, but you can see that the area of steel here is what? Showing what? 52.48, which is still okay. But I will advise that you have your column what? Your area of steel, extra area of steel, to be at least more than what? More than 100 or from 100 upward. Okay, don't always accept it being low like this, but basically it is okay like this. But had it been it was showing red like this, that means that it is what? Failing. Okay, but right now it is not showing red, so we just go back and then say what? Okay, and then that means that we have checked for this beam now, and this beam now is what? Perfectly what? Okay. So with this now, let's now go for the next beam to try to do it what? Serially. So let me start with this now again, and then come back here and do what? Check for this beam now, And to check for this beam, I can see that this beam basically is giving me what, 2T16 top, and then here, and then on that. And you can see the area of steel here, they are all okay. But I can choose to reduce this button now just to save costs for the client. Let me see. If I try 2I16, 2I16 is still okay. Can you see that? And the area of steel are perfectly okay, and the L over D is very far away, 10.39 against 310. So you can see that I have now been able to save cost by using what, 2i16, and the area of steels are still okay. That's fine. I'll come again here and also reduce the cost of this building by using what, 2i16. You can see that everything here is okay. So you can see how I'm able to reduce the cost for this beam. Okay, so always check for your members. Okay, check for your beams and try to see if you can reduce the number for the reinforcement, or see what the software is giving to you. Okay, that's fine. So with this now, I'll then move on to now and then say what here, okay here. So I have now reduced this, and again, let me see button. I can just to do what and reduce this to what? Let me see 2. Yeah, 2 is still okay. Can you see that? So basically you have to be checking, because most times this software try to do what, perform what, over design. So always be checking and see if it's giving what, excess bar or too much bar, or if it's given what, under design. Okay, so you must check out for that and also arrange your bars. Okay, that's fine then. So with this now, I'll then come and then see okay. So you can see how I have reduced the number of bar from 3 to 2, and everything is still okay, and you can see that that's fine. So with this now, I have saved cost for the client. Okay, I'll then come and then see what, say okay here. That's fine then. And I'll come here again and then click on the beam. So this is how you have to check for your beams and all that. So always check for your beams and all that. Check for your beams and see to see if you can reduce cost for your client, and also see if the software is giving you a good bars. Okay, and also if they are also arranging your bars very well, because if your bar arrangement looks so complicated, it will be difficult at site on how to lay the reinforcement. Okay, and also you have so many off cuts, so you have to check for to like at least to see if all your bars are appearing what, okay, and if they are appearing well. Okay, that's fine then. So with this now, I'll then come now, let me try and see if I can reduce cost on this bin. Reduce, and also 3 here, I can choose to have what, 2. Okay, you can see that 2 is still okay, this area of steel is okay, and also for the L over D, which is what deflection, is also what, okay. Okay, that's fine. So with this now, this also can also be reduced. Let me see. Yes, can also be reduced, and it's okay. Here also can be reduced to 2. So when you're doing your design, while you focus on the stability of the structure, your design also should not be too expensive. Okay, so always also consider for the cost of that building during the construction. Okay, and also try to manage that too. So this is the only area you can manage cost during interactive design. That's where you can manage the cost of that structure. Okay, and all that. So this now, come now and reduce this, and again come here, reduce this also. If that's okay, no, I cannot. Now let me just try to move away, like move up to that. This, you can see that this place right now is showing what, 74, and I advise that let it be above, at least above what, 100 or 100. So with this now, take here to be what, 3. Okay, here can be what, 3, just to increase the area of steel here. Okay, that's fine. And then this, that since here is 3 right now, I'll make it to be what, 3, so that they can lay one full reinforcement of what, 3 across on at this support and also at this span. Okay, now if I reduce here now, you can see that let me see, there will be failure here. Can you see that? Because it was already 183 as the area of steel. So right now, take it back to what, 3. Okay, to what, 3 number of bars. Okay, so always look out for this and check out for that. So you can see that we have tried to reduce cost on these 2 spans, but here right now is not, there is no way to reduce that because of the stability of the structure. Okay, that's fine. And also if you check out for the area of L over D here, it is still what, okay. Okay, that's fine. So with this now, then come on to what, say okay here. So with this now, we have also checked for this beam here. So I'll just check for all the ground floor, the story 1, and then check for story 2, the ones that are failing. Then we will now enter into what, Q&A section. I'll now do what, hear your question and then answer your questions. Okay, that's fine. So with this again, now then come here and then do what, check out for this also, and then come here and check for the design for that, and try and see if I can reduce cost on this beam. If I reduce this to what, 2 here, and see, no, this area of steel here is very small. You can see that it's showing what, 33.65, which is very low. So I'll increase back to what, 3, And if I come here and try to reduce cost on this, let me see, you can see that here is doing what? Yeah, this is okay. We're having what? 162, 162 as the area of steel, and here is what moving to the place where the beams are failing, and then you see how that will happen. So with this now, I can choose to reduce cost because I can see that I have higher area of steels here. They are very, very high. So I'll come now, reduce this to what? 2. Okay, you can see that it is still okay. Come again here, reduce to 2. So always try to check out for this, because, and also the minimum you can have should be what? 2 number of T16. It is not good to have 1, because even if I go now and then use 1, okay, you can see that it is still okay. Can you see that? But the minimum you can have is 2 based on the code. All right, based on BS code and Euro code, the minimum number of bars you can have for a bin is what? 2y16. Okay, so make sure you check out for that. Okay, that's fine. So with this now, I have now reduced the cost on this. So most people says that this software, or most engine software, try to do a perform over design. That's because they don't check their structure and all that. So you see that you end up wasting your client's money because you don't check for the you don't check the software for what it's giving you. These softwares are designed to do what? To design against what? Collapse. So they tend to what? Perform what? Over design and all that. So it is your duty to do what? To not check the software and begin to check for the check out for that, and then begin to do what? Reduce it. Okay, that's 5485. As long as it is not showing red, it is okay. Okay, that's fine. And as long as the value of this area of steel, right, is at least above 100, at least that's okay. Okay, that's fine. So with this now, then come now and do what? Say okay here. Okay, so you can see how I am trying to reduce costs of this building. Okay, so this is the area where you have to reduce the cost of the structure. Okay, and all that. If you don't check this, you will be having issues on your drawing, and also you will be having the structure will be very, very expensive to construct. Okay, and yeah, so I can choose to reduce this to what? 2 number of bars. Okay, which is also okay, and everything looks okay. And also here also 2 number of bars. Okay, and everything looks okay. And I'll come here and do what? Say okay here. Okay, that's fine. So you can see how I'm checking this now. Once I checked for this, only the story 1, I'll then go and check for the ones that are failing on other stories, and then begin to now do what? Begin to now move on to the Q&A session. Okay, that's fine. So with this now, I will then for the area of steel, this is what is giving me what? 141, which is above what? 100, and it's not failing. And the also, if you check for the what? L over D is given what? 11 against what? 38, which is what? Perfectly okay. Okay, and let me check for the top now. This top here, the area of steel is what? 5 something, 37, 37. Okay, so I'll come now, reduce and see, that's okay. And also save a cost here, bars on these 2 spans here, by doing what? Removing 1 bars and also 1 bars here, and you can see that it is perfectly okay too. That's fine. So with this now, then come and do what? Say okay here. Okay, basically interactive design looks very boring. All right, it is not what you enjoy, but that is the most important part of your design, because you are trying to do what? Reduce the cost, trying to check what the software has given to you and all that. So make sure you spend time on that. Most people see it as a waste of time, and they will end up seeing what? Minusing 1 bar, and the area of steel is okay, L over D is also okay, and all that. Everything else is okay. And also here to reducing the cost here by reducing the number of bars. And also here also, let me and see if I can reduce there. We have what? Yeah, it is still okay at the top. Also come here, reduce the cost on this side, and you can see that it's also okay. And then come again here, reduce cost here. Let me see that now. Reduce the cost here, and all that. Here is okay because you're having what? 100 and something. That's okay. And also come here, try to reduce cost now and see. Yes, we're having 100 to be above 100. Okay, so that should be 3. And then try to check here, so reduce here and see, this is what? Okay, I can see that. So I'm saving cost currently now for the client, and then